All right, thanks, guys. Oakland takes on Fairfield, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Fairfield. Fairfield opened the betting as the 3.5-point favorite and the total at 148.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're actually seeing action toward Oakland when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement downward on the total as well. Fairfield's now minus 2.5 with the total moving downward to an even 148. So once again, Fairfield open 3.5 down to 2.5. Total open 148.5 down to 148 even. 57% of the consensus is leaning toward Oakland. 67% of the consensus is leaning toward the over. Oakland's plus 130 for some money line cash. Fairfield is minus 140 on the money line themselves. Now, Oakland's been pretty good against the number this season. They're 4-3 against the spread overall for the year, 2-1 against the spread when catching the points. Meanwhile, on the Fairfield side of things, they're just 2-6 against the spread overall, 0-4 against the spread when laying the points. Now, total-wise, Fairfield is 2-0 to the over in their couple of games at home. Oakland 5-2 to the over in their games overall for the year. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward a road underdog to start this show off. Give me Oakland plus 3 after buying the hook in the over 148 in this one. And before we get into some more lines and personal leans, I just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Thursday's college basketball action. But before we get into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 60% for the entire year of 2017, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just pause this video right now, quickly open up your browser, and just type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It only takes you a few seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And with all that said and done, let's go ahead. We got a lot of stuff to cover here. Let's go ahead and jump right back into some more lines and personal leans for Thursday's college basketball action. All starts Eastern Standard Time, and we actually have this next game queued up here. I'm talking about Maryland at Purdue, 7 o'clock tip-off at Purdue. The Boilermakers open the betting as the 6.5-point favorite with the total at 148. Since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing movement toward Purdue on the spread. We're seeing movement toward the over when it comes to the total. Right now, Purdue's minus 8 with the total moving upward to 149. So once again, Purdue open 6.5 up to 8. Total open 148 up to 149. 53% are leaning Maryland, 54% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Terrapins are plus 315 for some money line cash. Purdue's minus 350 on the money line themselves. Now, Purdue is 5-3 against the spread overall for the year. Pretty good against the number. They're also 4-2 against the spread when laying the points. Now, this Purdue offense is scoring 85 points per contest on their home court. They're also shooting 39% from the three-point line. Now, on the Maryland side of things, completely different story. They failed to cover in 5 out of their last 8. They're also just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 ball games. And scoring-wise, this Maryland defense, well, they're allowing just 57 points per contest on the road. They're 5-3 to the under overall. Meanwhile, on the Purdue side of things, very similar story there as well. 5-3 to the under overall for the season. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the home chalk in this one. Very chalky play here. Give me Purdue minus 8 and the under 149 in that one. Next game, Charlotte, Wake Forest, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Wake Forest. The Demon Deacons open the betting as the 11-point favorite, the total at 136. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a steady and significant fade of Wake Forest when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement downward on the total as well. Right now, the Demon Deacons are minus 9.5 with the total moving down to 135 and a hook. So once again, Wake Forest opened 11 down to minus 9.5. Total open 136 down to 135 and a hook. 65% are leaning Wake Forest, 71% leaning toward the over. Now, Wake Forest has been pretty bad against the number this season. They failed to cover in 5 out of their last 7. They're also 0-3 against the spread on their home court. This Wake Forest defense is allowing 81 points per contest at home. Their opponents are shooting 44% from the 3-point line. Now, scoring-wise, Charlotte is 2-0 to the over in their games away from home. Meanwhile, Wake Forest, 67% to the over in their games on their home court. So with all that said and done, I'm going to take a road dog in this one, completely opposite from my prior pick. Give me Charlotte plus 10 after buying the half a point, and the over 135.5 in this one. Next game, Iowa State at Iowa, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off at the Hawkeyes. The Iowa State Cyclones open the betting as the 1.5-point favorite, the total at 152 and a hook. And since those markets opened this one up, we've seen Iowa State take a little money. We've also seen the over start to get pounded a little bit here as well. Iowa State's now minus 2.5 with the total moving upward to 153. So once again, the Cyclones open minus 1.5 up to minus 2.5. Total open 152 and a hook up to 153 flat. 56% are leaning Iowa Hawkeyes. 56% shaded toward the over. The Hawkeyes are plus 125 for some money line cash. Iowa State is minus 135 on the money line themselves. Now, Iowa State's been pretty good against the number this season. They're 5-3 against the spread overall. They're also covering 71% of their games when laying the points. Meanwhile, on the Hawkeyes side of things, they failed to cover in 6 out of their last 8. They're also a winless 0-5 against the spread on their home court. Now, scoring-wise, Iowa State is 7-1 to the under for the year, 3-0 to the under in their games on the road. Give me the road favorite in this one. I'm going to lean Iowa State minus 2 and the under 153 in that one. All right, a couple more games, very obscure games that are not on my board here, but definitely have lines for them. Next game, Drake, Milwaukee, 8 o'clock at Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This one opened up as a pick'em contest with a total at 147.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing movement toward Drake right now. We're also seeing movement toward the over. Right now, Drake is minus 2 with the total moving upward to 149.5. So once again, Drake opened as a pick, now minus 2. Total open 147.5 up to 149 and a hook. 73% are leaning Drake. And at the moment, Wisconsin, Milwaukee is plus 120 for some money line cash. Drake is minus 130 on the money line themselves. Now, Drake is covering 80% of their games overall for the year. They're 2-0 ATS as the favorite, 2-0 against the spread in their games at the current number. Meanwhile, on the Milwaukee side, they failed to cover in 3 out of their last 5 when catching the points. They're 0-2 against the spread in their last couple of games. And scoring-wise, we're looking at 80% to the over for Drake overall for the year, 2-1 to the over for Milwaukee in their games at home. So with all that said and done, I'm going to take the road favorite in this one. Give me Drake minus 2 and the over 149.5 in that one. Next game, Utah Valley at Arizona, 9 o'clock tip-off at Arizona. The Wildcats open the betting as the 13.5-point favorite, total at 145. And since those markets opened this one up, no real surprises here as Arizona's taking a little money on the spread. We're also seeing a little movement toward the over in this one as well. Arizona is now minus 14 with the total moving upward to 145 and a hook. So once again, Arizona open 13.5 up to 14. Total open 145 up to 145 and a hook. And at the moment, Arizona's minus 14.85 for some money line cash. Now, Arizona's been pretty good against the number in the early going here. They're 3-1 ATS in their games at home, 2-0 against the spread in their last couple of games. This Arizona team is also covering 80% of their games when laying the points. Meanwhile, on the Utah Valley side, they failed to cover in 2 out of their last 3 as the official Vegas underdog. They're also covering just 33% of their games as the official road underdog as well. Now, scoring-wise, Arizona's 6-2 to the under for the year, 3-1 to the under in their games at home. Meanwhile, on the Utah Valley side of things, they're 4-3 to the under themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean very chalky in this one. Give me Arizona minus 14 and the under 145.5 in this one. Next game, Pepperdine. That's my school. Actually, I didn't go there, but I like playing their games. Pepperdine at UC Riverside. 10 o'clock tip-off at UC Riverside. Pepperdine opened the betting as the 7.5-point favorite, total at 147. Since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a steady and consistent fade of Pepperdine. That's my team. We're also seeing steady and consistent action on the over as well. Right now, Pepperdine's -6. Total moved upward to 147 and a hook. So once again, Pepperdine open 7.5 down to 6. Total open 147 up to 147 and a hook. 63% are leaning Pepperdine, 51% shaded toward the over. UC Riverside is +230. Pepperdine is laying 245 for some money line cash. Now, Pepperdine's been very good against the spread for the year. They're 5-1 ATS overall. They're also a perfect 3-0 against the spread when laying the points. This Pepperdine offense is scoring 84 points per contest. They're also shooting 40% from the three-point line. Now, the UC Riverside side of things, they're putting up just 62 points per contest. They're shooting just 42% from the field. They've also failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6, taking on teams allowing more than 72 points per contest. Now, scoring-wise, UC Riverside 5-3 to the under overall. They're also 4-2 to the under, taking on teams averaging more than 72 points per contest. So with all that said and done, I'm going to take the road favorite in this one. Give me Pepperdine -6 in the under 147.5 in that one. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Nebraska-Omaha at Seattle. 10 o'clock tip-off in Seattle. Seattle opens 6.5 total. Let's try that again. Seattle open 6.5 up to 7. Total open 149.5 up to 150. Seattle's -315 for some money line cash. Seattle's 5-3 ATS overall, 4-2 against the spread as the favorite. Nebraska-Omaha's just 3-4 against the spread overall. They're also covering just 25% of their games when catching the points. Nebraska's 5-2 to the under overall for the year. Seattle's 3-1 to the under when the line was over 145. Give me Seattle -7. And the under 150 in that one.